Interscope Records, Incorporated is an American record label that operates as a division of Universal Music Group. It was founded in 1989 by Jimmy Iovine and Giorgio Saravia as an exclusive hip-hop label, which was then owned by Atlantic Recording Corporation, until it was acquired by MCA Inc. in 1995 over a contention in gangsta rap. Since 1999, the label is one of UMG's most preeminent labels and operates as the most active under the Interscope Geffen A&M label group, which is headquartered in Santa Monica, California. The label's current artists include Eminem, Fergie, Phillip Phillips, Gwen Stefani, Maroon 5, Kendrick Lamar, Lady Gaga, M.I.A., Lana Del Rey, Schoolboy Q, OneRepublic, and Imagine Dragons. As of 2013, Interscope became the #1 charting label based on Mediabase, and also with the largest label share on over 4 radio formats, with adult contemporary being their largest share of the formats. History: Interscope Records was founded in 1989 by Jimmy Iovine and Interscope Communications Ted Field with financial support from Atlantic Records, which owned a 53% stock in the label. Initially, it was distributed by the Atlantic Records subsidiary East West Records America. A&R executive Tom Whalley, John McClain and producer Beau Hill and Joe Lee Joswiak were also part of the original founding team. The label's first release was Mo Ritmo by Gerardo. MCA Inc. acquired Atlantic's stake in the label in 1995 due to controversy over gangsta rap, a genre which Interscope championed. Today, the original focus of the label was on hip-hop and urban music, but by the mid-1990s its range began to expand, to where its roster would be as wide-ranging to include the industrial rock artists 9 Inch Nails under Nothing Records, shock rocker Marilyn Manson, rock band Limp Bizkit, No Doubt and later the Latin artist Kings of Flow in a unique partnership with Los Angeles-based indie Latin label. Following UMG's acquisition of Polygram in 1998, Geffen Records and A&M Records were merged into Interscope. In 2004, DreamWorks Records was merged into the Interscope Geffen A&M group, bringing over artists including Blink-182, the All-American Rejects, Papa Roach, Rise Against, Nelly Furtado, Lifehouse, AFI, Jimmy Eat World and Rufus Wainwright. The artists were divided between Interscope and Geffen, with most going to the latter. In 2005 Interscope launched a new imprint called Cherrytree Records, for emerging artists. This began with the group The Lovemakers and later included Far East Movement, Feist, Natalia Kills, Flipside, Tokyo Hotel, and Robin. Lady Gaga is with Interscope, but no longer with Cherrytree as of 2011. LMFAO and Mindless Behavior are also part of the Interscope Records major hits. In May 2007 Interscope announced a joint venture partnership with Justin Timberlake to create a new recording label called Tenman Records, with the first artist being Esme Denters. In 2011, Interscope signed Madonna and Van Halen, the latter of which reunited with its original lead singer David Lee Roth. Both artists' albums were released in 2012. Both artists were also formally signed to Warner Bros. Records. On November 8, 2013, it was announced that Interscope promotion veteran Greg Morella left the department and became Executive Vice President of Promotion at Sony Music's Chemisarb Records, which is headed by Dr. Luke. On May 13, 2014, Pasquale Rotellas partnered with Interscope Geffen A&M to create Insomniac Records, a new EDM imprint. The first artist signed to the label is DJ Artie. On May 28, 2014, Jimmy Iovine announced that he has stepped down as CEO and chairman of Interscope Records. A statement on Janik taking, he said, "John Janik has exactly what it takes to lead Interscope Geffen A&M. He started his own label, he understands the art of making records and the unique dynamic between a record label and artist, as well as the enormous responsibility that comes with representing one of the greatest artist rosters ever assembled." Since the beginning of May, Janik has been leading the label fully without Iovine. Due to Apple, Incorporated acquiring Beats Electronics LLC, Iovine will be joining Apple. Before his job at the Interscope department, he worked at Fueled by Ramen, a Warner Music Group label. Criticism: Nine Inch Nails frontman Trent Reznor criticized Universal Music Group for its pricing and distribution plans of Year Zero in Australia. When he asked why it was so much, they replied, "You've got a core audience that's gonna buy whatever we put out, so we can charge more for that. True fans will pay whatever." After the release of Year Zero Remixed, two Nine Inch Nails albums, Ghosts I Four and The Slip, were distributed by Reznor's independent record label The Null Corporation. Nine Inch Nails is currently signed with Columbia Records and no longer associates with Interscope. About his album The Captain and the Kid, Sir Elton John explained to Cameron Crowe, "Interscope is heavily known for delaying albums in months and even years." In late 2011, rapper 50 Cent engaged in a feud with Interscope stating that "not everyone is not committed to releasing my new album," referencing his yet-to-be-released, fifth studio album. This album, titled Street King Immortal, was meant to be released in the second quarter of 2013. In 2012, rapper Eve blamed Interscope for delaying her much-anticipated fourth album, Lip Lock. The album was delayed in approximately 6 years, being announced in 2007 but released only in 2013. In 2012, rapper and singer M.I.A. announced her fourth album, Mitangi, for a December 2012 release with Interscope. The album was pushed back when Interscope shelved the original project claiming it was too positive. M.I.A. wrote new songs and produced new beats, but the album was again subject to numerous delays. In September 2013, M.I.A. threatened to leak the album on the internet. Interscope responded by announcing the release date as November 5, 2013. Also in 2012, rapper Azealia Banks announced her debut album, Broke with Expensive Taste, for a September 2012 release with Interscope and Polydor. However, the album was subject to multiple delays and remains unreleased. The first single, Young Rapunzel, was also delayed in 2 months. She has stated on her Tumblr, in January 2014, Azealia slammed Interscope on her Twitter, stating, "Associated record labels under Interscope Records, 19 Recordings, Aftermath Entertainment, Bad Boy Records, Cherry Tree Records, Division 1, DGC Records, Trianville Records, Hit Since 87, Insomniac Records, Konishiwa Records, Eardrummers Entertainment, Mosley Music Group, NEET Recordings, Kest Records, Shady Records, Kid and A Corner Records, Star Trek Entertainment, Streamline Records, Tenman Records, Will.i.am Music Group, Zone 4, former associated labels under Interscope Records, A&M Octane Records, Atlantic Records, Eastist Records, SKG Music, Death Row Records, El Cartel Records, G-Unit Records, Nothing Records, Trauma Records, Artists, current Interscope Records artists, former Interscope Records artists. See also, List of record labels, Interscope Records discography, A&M Octane Records, references. External links, Interscope.com, Interscope A&R team contact list, video interview with Jimmy Iovine, chairman of Interscope, interview with Interscope A&R Mark Williams, headquarters April 2006, Interscope Records discography at Discogs.